Hey, what's up, guys? Lou here, and about to dive into a movie review. It's been a while. Not a movie in the theaters, but a movie it's available for streaming or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. This one right here, I rented it. It's called The Lighthouse. So yeah, quick backstory, I guess. It's made from, produced by the same people who did The Witch. Um, Same director actually. And that's what kind of drew me to it. That and the fact that it was shot in black and white. Uh, I literally just got done watching it like 10, 15 minutes ago. Still a little shell shocked because I had like one of them endings. And so basically, the past couple weeks or months or whatever, it's been kind of dry movies. I mean, not these kind of movies. By movies, I mean like blockbuster stuff like Star Wars, Marvel films, and yada yada yada, all that stuff. But yeah, The Lighthouse kind of came out of left field. I knew about it, I knew it was coming, and it came out. I thought like, oh, okay, I bet this is gonna be one of them hidden gems, kind of like Hereditary or Midsummer. That's another reason what drew me to it. I kind of had that feel, that like slow burn, which it is. Like if you guys suffer from like ADD or restless syndrome, then this is probably not your movie because it's definitely a slow burn. Um, right off the bat, and be honest, I don't think it surpasses Hereditary. Hereditary to me is like the most modern horror kind of creepy film. That'll definitely make you think about it once the movie's over. Same thing with Midsummer. It doesn't have that same impact, but it does impact you in a different way of just sheer terror and like what the f did I just watch? So anyway, back to The Lighthouse. Good cast, small cast, only two people. And then I mentioned shot in black and white. I'm sure that's a turnoff for some people because it's like going backwards. It's a artistic choice. Deal with it. If you've ever seen Schindler's List before, you'll know what I'm talking about. In fact, it adds to it. This kind of movie, it's the way it's filmed. It's to give you anxiety, and the black and white definitely adds to that. Um, Gives a very nice, you know, surprisingly clean, not too grimy look, but it's definitely kind of aged in a way. I guess that's what black and white does. It gives it a certain artistic, you know, uh, independent feel to it, which I think is kind of cool, and I appreciate that. Um, so yeah, back to the cast. Robert Pattinson, the dude from Twilight. Right, I was like, ooh, wait a minute, don't know, but he's doing good. I can't really, I really can't, dog him for that. He might be our new Batman, or is our new Batman. I'm not sure where that stands. Um, but yeah, he did a great job in this film. He was in another movie. It was a David Cronenberg movie that he did a pretty good job. So he's good at doing serious stuff. What else? Willem Dafoe. The guy needs no introduction. He's another classic actor. Been in a lot of great films. Very like his face. That's kind of how it is. But yeah, they both fit. So imagine I'll set it up for you. The movie. So imagine just being like on a rock, and your job is to watch parts of the rock for about 4 weeks with someone who isn't your best friend. Now, I know you could probably go out camping for like a long time if you don't like camping. Be away from society, isolated, with your best friend. Obviously, you guys would have something to relate to. But imagine being with a stranger. So you would think of like all the stuff that this stranger doesn't know. You guys get in the conversation. You might get bored of each other. I don't know. Depends on your social status, I guess. If you're a quiet person, good luck. Um, in this case, these guys couldn't be more opposite. One is definitely he looks like a seafaring captain from like the old days. This takes place during the 1800s, New England, I think, and they definitely got it marked. To tell you that. Where Robert Pattinson's character is more modern in the sense like he's just doing this as a job to him, where the other guy's like taking it way too seriously. And so 4 weeks is the limit. They have to watch a lighthouse and just do routine. One guy sleeps, the other guy works. Odd jobs. Feeding a coal fire, just watching over. Maintaining certain equipment. One guy sleeps. Well, one guy works. Back and forth stuff like that. Um, 4 weeks, they're out. Then another team comes in. That's how this happen. Whole thing comes together. So anyway, huge storm, crazy storm, like storm of the century. Uh, they're waiting to get the heck out. 4 weeks, and they're already starting to like kind of get on each other's nerves, and just the sheer loneliness and just the location. It's very very creepy. I tell you what, it's and the way the camera's positioned. Like this guy, Robert Eggert, I believe his name is, who directed this, knows how to work a camera or direct it anyway, and because it gives you anxiety and just overall feel of dread. Like there's nothing happy about it. Like this definitely has the hereditary midsummer feel, and by that I mean like a feeling of dread. Like there's no light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. But this is not necessarily a bad thing. Not for this movie. Definitely, this is what you want. And um, aside from that, not too much dialogue. It's a very quiet movie. Put it that way. So, like I said, if you have a hard time paying attention, or be used to like action pack, shoot 'em up, this is probably not your movie. Even if you're a horror buff, like it does pick up some parts. It's a mystery. It's like bizarre. It's weird. The imagery alone is kind of like mind blowing, which I really enjoyed. But anyway, these guys start losing it. The relief crew doesn't show up because of the storm, and they start going nuts. One guy bosses the other guy around a little too much. There's a lot of heavy drinking in this. I mean, and they just do it like to pass the time while trying to maintain this, dilapidated lighthouse. And you could just see it, like one guy's hallucinating, thinks he sees like sirens, mermaids. He gets like all aroused by him and stuff, and the other guy just you know goes off on these rants like he's Captain Ahab or whatever. It's nuts, and it all accumulates to this big climatic WTF moment at the end, and it's like, whoa, what just happened? And I expected. I mean, it didn't quite put a period at the end of the sentence. Like Hereditary's ending was phenomenal. So was Midsummer, and I felt pretty satisfied. Like, okay, this is what happened. I'm totally good. I kind of wanted a little bit more, just to shut the door on this film. But the way it ended, graphic. I'll put it that way. It was definitely an ending where it was totally worth watching. It's like an hour 50 minutes. It's not that long. I mean, in today's standards, anyway. Like I said, it picks up and it slows down. Sometimes it's dialogue heavy, sometimes it's not. But like I said, this is a very visual driven movie, so you catch things. You're like, what, is this real? And it's like like a nightmare, like a really bad dream that you're stuck in. And every day there's something different and odd, and you just want to get out, but you can't. And like I said, feeling of dread that plagued both these characters, and like I said, in the end, it's probably what you could imagine. It's it doesn't go well for either character, put it that way. And Robert Pattinson's character, like you know, he's up to here with Defoe's character, and he, they just break apart. Full communication breakdown, and madness, insanity. I could go on and on about describing it. That's pretty much what happens. So yeah, um, the one character, Robert Pattinson's character, he wants to like reach the top part of the lighthouse. Defoe's character kind of keeps him from getting to it. Um, Sorry, I keep mentioning the actors' names. I don't know the characters' names by heart. I just like I said, I just watched it today, and I just ended it 15-20 minutes ago. So I'm still trying to collect myself here. And like I said, I don't have much time to, you know, plot out a and script and review, but I figure I just, because I'm sure other people have done a better job than me with this movie, but I figure I just give my 2 cents. Um, so yeah, anyway, it finally reaches the top part of the lighthouse, and it's like I don't know how to describe it. It's like finding my character. I mean Robert Pattinson's character finally gets the upper hand. Like I don't want to spoil too much in case you guys want to see the movie yourself. If I'm not making any sense, um, let's just say he's he's kind of I guess I don't know how to describe it. It's a crazy moment. A lot of bright lights and doesn't really fill you in what he saw. And I think I'm going to stop there because if I say any more, I'm going to spoil the ending, which I think is definitely worth it. Um, Once again, this movie's not for everybody. It's very bizarre. If I had a category, put it in a category, it would be a psychological thriller. Definitely messes with your mind. I felt uneasy, watching it, especially at the end. It's kind of creepy. It had that hereditary midsummer vibe, but once again, those movies I feel like are just maybe a little bit better. Even the witch I feel like kind of did a better job, but the witch I feel like was like more established. I believe this is the director's second movie, and despite all that, he did a great job. Like this movie is the midsummer of the hereditary films, pretty much. So the hereditary was Ari Aster, I think his name was his first film, and then Midsummer. Midsummer was a great film, but not on hereditary level. Whereas The Witch was Robert Eggers, first film, I believe. I'm sure he probably did stuff before this, but that I've seen was really great. Creepy movie. Definitely recommend that one too, The Witch. But this one, like it had everything there. It had that extra vibe of atmospheric because of the it was shot in black and white. But I don't know, just maybe it's because I'm not used to like I'm used to these kind of endings, but at the same time, I just kind of wanted an inch more, just like an explanation. But I guess that's just not that wasn't in the cards for this film. They showed you just enough to be freaked out and to remember it, and that was it. And this movie, definitely hit on the marks. It had good acting. The location was great. Yeah, I felt like I was there. Um, the choice of Keller, black and white, definitely artistic approach. I thought it fit. I mean, if this movie was in Keller, I don't think it would have the same effect. And the cast definitely. I mean, you had two guys through the entire movie having to carry the movie and just react with each other. It's not much going on, but for those two guys to feed off each other and make single scenes with them work and crank up the insanity, the breaking point, and climax. That's a tough job. It's like a one-man show, just as a two-man show. And you know what? It definitely worked. I can't see it any other way. I can't see any additional characters. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of hallucinations. I want to say throughout the movie that where the characters ran into other people, or character ran into other people that I guess drove them a little more crazy, kind of took them over the edge. But once again, like I said, I'd rather you guys see it for yourself or look up the scenes I'm talking about. Whatever. But anyway, I enjoyed it for what it was. Like I said, it's no Hereditary, but it's definitely creepy, definitely psychological, and I think the ending was, definitely great. Like I said, I always mention this. I'm big on endings. If the ending isn't good, then I feel like I wasted time. Well, not wasted time, but like you just sometimes you need that. It's like eating a half a pizza and you're still hungry. It's still there, but you just don't touch it. So you feel kind of incomplete. And I did kind of want more, maybe because I'm spoiled with my endings now. If they're gonna be ominous and strange and weird, that finishing ending that kind of connects all the dots or whatever. or even if it leaves you in the dark, it kind of leaves you satisfied. Like, okay, this is the ending, and I accept it. This one, I felt like maybe one more shot, but I didn't direct the movie. It's the director's choice, and I'm totally fine with that too. It's definitely left you on a very disturbing note, put it that way. And that's exactly what this movie is. It's a great psychological thriller, I think. Definitely keep you guys interested. Watch it alone to raise your anxiety a little bit if you want. And yeah, like I said, the setting definitely made the movie too. That and the actors. So yeah, that's my view and my 2 cents about the Lighthouse. It's a psychological thriller. If you guys are into that, definitely check it out. I recommend it. And yeah, let me know what you think. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time, peace.